property tax rebate or check, that would continue in perpetuity?
Yes.
Okay.
As would the income tax.
When was the income tax take effect?
January 1st, last Saturday.
So this would, when you say there's an agreement,
So consider it, think about that right now. It's, it could be applied to you right now while you're standing here.
when you said all three have agreed, do you see any real stumbling point to block an agreement among the caucuses?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there might be some tweaks to it. That's why I'd say
So you
that
think
there's-
this is the typically called tentative agreement then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in the property tax, is it like April then of 2011 when these checks would arrive?
Well, I think they would be out right after the first of the year.
So like January 2011?
Sure.
Republicans say, and just for instance, spoke with Senator Ryder, saying that
They want
this
more
is a
reforms.
time
They
when
want more reforms
they want
before they're
more
willing to vote
reforms,
for it,
and that
right.
it's
If-
also the wrong time to do it, given the economy, the recession, people can't pay for college.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
just-
it's the right time to do it because we are in desperate need of paying our bills. We have to just think about how we're going to be after we pass this. We would have all our bills, all those people that are owed money, $8 billion will go back into the economy. People will be paid on time. Our credit rating will be dramatically improved. We will then have a balanced budget with virtually no growth for the next 4 years. And going forward, after the economy is improved, hopefully it will be, then the future General Assembly is going to decide whether or not they want to extend this tax. That's up to them. So it's temporary tax.
Hasn't every other temporary tax become
Every other
permanent?
temporary tax has not become permanent. Thank God I've been here for 30 years. I can tell you that in 1986, I think it was, 87, Governor Thompson had a temporary tax increase. It was temporary. In 1989, Governor Thompson had another temporary tax increase. This would be the third one.
So the backlog of bills, are those people going to get one big giant check, or is it going to be based on months?
We're going to bring our payment cycle down to about 30 days like we're supposed to. That's
So
the goal.
if you've been owed money for 14 months and you continue to submit, are you going to get one giant lump sum check?
I assume so. You'll be paid everything that you're owed. That's the goal.
Personal will go to 3.75 permanent when all this is done. Is that correct? And then what would corporate be when all this is done?
The corporate would be a ratio of 8 to 5.
Okay.
8 to 5. So whatever the ratio is of 8 to 5, whatever corporate is, I don't know the math on what the corporate would be.
Didn't he say it was
It might go to 6.
8.4?
Okay.
It's like 8.5, somewhere around in there.
It would probably go to 6.
That 89 increase became permanent.
That's because people voted on it after an election for governor. The same thing would take place here. There was an
why-
election for governor. The governor who won said he wanted to keep it and extend it. He won, and the legislature voted to extend it. That would have to be done again after the next election for governor.
But why not call it permanent now? How
Because
can you
it's,
back away from it?
because that's a decision the
Once you
future
got that revenue coming in.
because maybe the economy will grow and we won't have to have a tax increase, or it doesn't have to be as great as it is right now.
After a bunch of new programs are, in the out years, a bunch of new programs are added in the out years. If
The out years,
economy's improving.
if you're talking about the out years in the next 3 years, there are no new programs. There's a budget plan for the next 3 fiscal years, including this one, or not counting this one, which has a revenue growth of 2% and an expenditure growth of 1%.
Any other spending reforms planned? And again, you said, yeah, that's what Republicans keep on saying they want. Are there any plans to go through the budget line by line? as they've
Workers'
talked
comp,
about?
we're still working on, which would be a major improvement to the business climate here in Illinois. And we're working on that over the weekend.
Is there
I
any
hope
idea
to
how
have
much
that.
Chicago Public Schools would get under the infusion of education dollars?
No, because there's no formula to distribute that money. This is just to put the money into the formula from the cigarette tax, and then the legislature would make that decision later,
John, this comes
In the spring, do you expect?
when we do the appropriation process.
John, this comes after an election. People are going to say, hey, you got through the election, and now you're raising taxes. Can you address
They
that?
wouldn't say that to the Senate, because as you know, we already voted to raise the income tax by 2% a year and a half ago. And we had a different bill. Now this is a different bill from, but we're in worse economic shape now than we were a year and a half ago. We have more money that we owe, so we're responding in a different fashion.
Was Governor Quinn
The death
disingenuous?
penalty what about the death penalty abolition? Do you think that would pass the Senate?
Well, I just found out that it passed the House, and we're going to assign that bill to the Judiciary Committee, and we'll have a hearing on it probably on Tuesday morning.
How do you
We're
guys
supportive of
chances?
that
Do you think
idea.
it'll
I
pass?
support it.
Do you think it'll pass?
I have no idea. I've talked to Senator Raoul.
Are you gonna come back Monday or Tuesday?
We're in on Monday, but a
Do you want
Judiciary
it to
Committee
pass?
would meet on Tuesday.
Okay.
Sure.
Will you ask your members to vote for it?
That's a real personal decision. I don't think that's something that I think people vote their conscience on something like that, and I'll let them decide how to do that.